Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Kingdoms of the Dump. Last time we left off, we were walking around in this very large anthill area, and I believe, it seems like the enemies are respawned, I believe I checked everything down here. I think we just need to walk to the right, but just to give a quick look, a quick peek. Okay, yeah, so mostly just walk to the right is what we want. But there's a lot to see here, and I'm definitely going to miss some things, I feel. But, it's very late for me right now. Oh, you're going first, because my agility's lower. I see. But yeah, it's very late for me right now. Just kind of recording this video before I go to bed, so I have less to do in the morning. But, we'll see how much we can get done. There we go. And hopefully I don't play stupidly because I am low on sleep. But that is no guarantee I can make because I play stupidly even when I'm awake. So, we'll see. We'll see. How in the world do I get up there? That's a weird one. Huh. Absolutely no idea how I would go about getting up there. But we need to explore these other places. Okay, that does get me... That's what I wanted. There we go. Yes. Is this just for you? God, it's confusing, this area. A brass can. Graceful fluted shape is sure to impress your enemies. Sure, the fire resistance might be nice in this area with fire enemies, but we will see. Oh my god, there's so much. A TP roll. Thank you. Anything else in here? Yes. Liquid metal. What was that? 30 MP. Ah, that's the ether. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Ow. And not immediately walk right into glass. Ideally, we do not want to be doing that. God, there's just so much to explore once again. Okay, so we can kind of get a look here at where we're wanting to go. And where we haven't been. So I haven't walked around at a lot of these lower parts here. I'm wondering if there's something I can do with these anthills to potentially get somewhere. Like, can I shoot out of them really high or something? Because there's a really big one placed over here, which made me think that was potentially how I got up to you. But I'm thinking that's probably not the case. And there's this trampoline right here, but I don't think that's anything either. And that trampoline right there isn't going to get me... Yeah, if there's a trampoline closer, I would maybe be able to jump up there that way. But I do not think that is the solution here. There's an item up there that I definitely want. And a mealworm. Okay. Here. It looks like there's a guard right there. I just jumped through a little bit of the geometry. Okay, so yeah, I think we want to check this out here. Boing, 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 boing. I think that's as high as we can go. Which is enough to get me up there if I aimed it right. I was about to say, what happens if I land on an enemy like that? It should just one-hit them at that point. They're definitely the most annoying, I feel. Like, their attack isn't that scary, but that other attack of theirs is. Probably want to heal Dustin here. Not the dump feast, though. I guess a warm burger. then I can boiling steel this. I just don't want to deal with that spider, especially when we're sitting right beside each other, because it will not go well. Because it has that AoE attack. Did actually manage to block. Alright, that's enough. Bunch of XP for that, though. Was 3 enemies, so... I would have been shocked if it wasn't a bunch of XP. Were those, like, ant soldiers? I probably don't want to fight them. Spotted lanternfly has to go, though. Invasive species and all that. So, sorry. We gotta put you out of your misery. Yeah, it's like after they flap their wings, like, twice. It's interesting. I can't think of a game that I've ever played where spotted lanternflies are actually a thing. This is the first, I think. A skill pill. I think I want to use that on Dustin. I think that's where I want to go with that. I can't climb this, right? No. What's the point of it, then? Because it looks like it's something I would use for something, right? And there's a locked treasure chest up there. I mean, judging by that one area we went to, it seems like we'll need to come back to these areas with new characters and abilities, so... maybe that's the case here? Maybe you want to re-explore old zones, since we'll be getting new abilities as the journey continues. Boom. Oh my god. Burning sting. That was an explosion, not a sting. Oh my god. Okay. Well, definitely watch out for fire ants, I guess. Yeah. That looks good to me. Skill or HP? I mean, your defense is very high, so I don't feel like I need the HP too. So I'll go skill. 4 HP also isn't a lot. I don't feel like it's going to make that much of a difference. HP I feel like is less of a useful stat in these games than it is something like, you know, Hollow Knight or a Souls game. Since there it's like, oh, you get more time to actually learn the fight and craft a strategy against it if you have more HP, whereas usually there's ways to do that in RPGs without needing to do all of that. I mean, tanks and high HP are of course useful in these games sometimes, but I've yet to see a reason I feel like I would want it yet. Okay, well that's unfortunate. You'll get back up though. All I have to do is win this fight. And I have big defense, so... yeah. Sorry, Ratavia. But I got a cactus hide out of it, so you know. Yeah, I'm feeling like we're going to get an insect character or something. It seems like height, like needing to jump higher or something. Maybe we get like a spider friend that can shoot a web and I can climb up that. So yeah, it does revive you for free with 1 HP. I have a mealworm to use. If we could run into a save point, though, I could just use a TP roll. So... I'm kind of like, maybe I do that instead. Oh god, there's an enemy. Attention new recruits. If you get lost in the tunnels, follow the torches to their nearest exits. Okay, well you can't get me up here, so... thank you. I think I'm gonna have to use that mealworm. They give it to me for a reason, you know? Alright. I also want to steal from this because maybe I'll actually have good stuff. Wrong pocket, maybe. I should have moved up with that. It's fine though, as long as you're attacking Dustin, I'm happy. It would be wonderful if Dustin got a taunt. That is when I'm like, oh my god. tanks are so useful in these kinds of games. If you can taunt enemies so that they just attack your character that's incredibly tanky, oh, way, way useful then. But sometimes you don't have access to taunt skills, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I have a character that can take hits pretty well, but that requires the enemy to actually attack them. So, less useful than if the game actually has taunting as a mechanic. So we'll see. It would make sense for you to have a taunt, like, you know, take your lid off and, like, bang it, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna hit that person because they're being loud, you know? Or just do the classic taunt, which is just hurl insults at somebody. Hello. And there's one of the worms. Nothing here? No. Oh my god, this is a big area, jeez. I am happy the game just seemingly gives you maps. After playing so much Hollow Knight and, you know, having to find my maps and stuff like that, it's nice to have a game that's like, here you go, just have the map. Because I'm just really bad at knowing where I'm going. See, between these two, I just don't like HP on Rotavia. I feel like I would rather have the skill. On the like, you know, for the times I do use skills. Like I said, I'm not that crazy about HP, and I might regret that later. When I'm fighting a boss and I'm like, oh my god, it just one-hits all my characters. Then I'll be regretting this, but still. Taking a sip of water. Ah, that was good water. Okay. I also worked out before recording this video, so that is a thing too. Hop up here. Wow, I gotta switch characters immediately, huh? Hello. Because there's a thing right there I need to break. God, not only do I never have the metal to use it, but they never stay in the spots that I need them to stay in. This is probably going to be a pretty painful fight. Oh my god. Never mind. Rotavia's kind of hitting that point where some of the enemies in this area she can just absolutely annihilate. I did get some mealworms as a drop, I think. Oh, I got little grubs. That's fine. Bonk. Thank you. No, not that. I thought it was going to be Dustin's turn, but no. Maggot cheese. I did steal one of those. I should look at what it actually does. Oh, 85 HP. Yeah, that's not bad. Thank you. Got some MP back. Is this garbage bag anything? Yeah, and like the fact that even areas like this also have a map, wonderful. Because some games, like, you know, the outside areas have maps, but as soon as you walk into a dungeon, sometimes they don't, because they're like, well, it's small enough, we don't need to make a map for something like this, but yeah, I always need a map, quite frankly. Need a map, need a map. Oh, God. Well, let's get to it, I guess. Alright, that's dead. Ow. Oh, you hit a boiling point. Don't move. Yes! Okay, that'll make this so much easier. Straight razor. And hoop. There we go. That's what I needed. Oh. God, that boiling point came when it did. Thank you, and thank you. Yeah, that was a very clutch boiling point. I can't make that jump. Yeah, we have to get up there another way. Like down here. So walk that path. Hello? Por qué? It's not a walk through a hidden wall scenario, no. Just don't know why this is over here. Maybe it's so you can get back if you, like, fall off that platform? Possibly. Okay, so we just need to go up there. Thank you. Alright, so this leads to a dead-end room. So I definitely want to go in there, and then the other path is how we get to the checkpoints. Oh god. I want to see what this is first, and then I will deal with you. Desert garb. So it might be good. Desert garb. +1 agility. Light robes worn in the hot climate. Nice. Hello. 2 mealworms or dirt worms. Think I can deal with. They drop mealworms. They're not mealworms themselves. Maybe. I don't know specifically. I think mealworms are a specific kind of bug. It's not just... Because the whole idea with mealworms is it's like an insect like that you could work into meals and they would provide protein as like a supplement or something, but people are grossed out about it because, you know, eating bugs, even though we already basically eat bugs in the form of shrimp and stuff. But, yeah, that's mostly where I know the term from. But it could be that they have that name for a different reason as well. Why did you do so much damage that one time? You must have crit. Oof, dangerously low here. A little bit late. Could have also been that you were in front. I should have attacked with Dustin there, not you. That was wasting my strongest attack. I wonder if you'd be weak to lightning. Yes, you are. I don't know why my mouse appeared for like a second there. That was weird. Okay. Well, now we know they're weak to that. So I should definitely do that more in those fights against that enemy, because they're incredibly resistant to physical attacks, but magic, not so much. Can I like grab this? No. That appears to be all that is in here. Really though? Maybe I get an insect character that can go in these ant mounds. And like they travel to places through them, like it's a teleport or something. You teleport to the paired one, because it feels weird that that's just... Yeah. Alright. Let's get going. I need you. Spiked bat. That's definitely for you, right? Glass damage. A crude bat with nails in it. Lowers some stats. Bigger attack, but you basically lower everything else. It does do glass damage though, so if things are weak to glass, then it would be good. 1 defense, 1 agility, 1 luck, but you get a big attack out of it. Honestly, don't know if I want it, unless the thing I'm about to fight is weak to glass, but if I die to a boss fight, then we can adjust our equipment and see. That's kind of the problem. I love in these games the process of being like, okay, let's go look in our bag of tricks and see how we can perfectly craft a build that will defeat this boss based off of its weaknesses and the things I want to avoid that it does to me. But so often in these games I usually just beat stuff on the first try, with the exception of like super bosses and things like that. And some stuff in like Octopath, because yeah, those games can actually be really hard and you do have to adjust your strategies and stuff. Employee rest area. What's through here? Well, I'm definitely using that TP roll, I can tell you that. There's no point in hoarding them anymore. Yeah, you do have to choose a character you want to use on it. You want to use it on. I feel like I should save the family size TP until I at least have a full party. So I'll give you that, and you can just have a mealworm. What was this? What was down the other path? Uh-oh. Did I not want to do this? Where in the world am I at now? There's not a map here. Work area ahead. I want to go back. Sorry, we gotta sit through this again. I guess this is another handy moment to take a swig. Ah. Good stuff. Okay. So, what was over here is what I wanted to see. This will take it to the exterior overlook. Exits the other way. Okay, cool. Ah, yes. Spare key, absolutely. Bullet, ant, karambit? Oh my god, you got a Counter-Strike knife? These things are worth a lot. Curved blade with an excruciating swing. Obviously, karambits are not limited to Counter-Strike, but that's immediately what I think of. That's a huge increase. And also get this. Spare key. That appears to be all I can do right now. But getting that was a huge deal. So that I'm pretty excited about. Glad I went back for it. God, she's going to hit so hard now. Kind of terrifying. I'm interested to see. One of my favorite part about playing these games is seeing, like, all the fun different ways you can make busted characters, because obviously there's just the ridiculous damage dealers that you can get in these sorts of games. But then there's, like, different types, too. Like, one's an AoE damage dealer, so they're very, very good at clearing out, like, random battles. There's one that's a boss killer. There's, like, a tank that's basically unkillable. There's a healer that's just absurd. Like, there's so many fun ways to build things. South Employee Rest Area, Anthills, East Access Tunnel, exit. Okay. Tunnel 2. South Employee Rest Area, East Access Tunnel, exit. So over there is where we want to go if we want to leave. Hello. Now that I know the secret to just killing you super quickly. Lightning strike. God, yeah, that's phenomenal. Makes my life so much easier. I will steal from you though, because you give me that maggot cheese, which is good stuff. Oh yeah, you do have this AoE attack. Okay, luckily I mostly dodged it with Batavia. 133. Alright, well she's punching through their defense now. God. Yep, okay. Hello? Wow, the mud down here glows. That'd be burning hot lava. So, make sure we don't fall in there. Just seeing your performance in the sewers, I'm a little nervous. Hey, look. Who is... Quiet. Come on, let's go. Ants go marching one by one, you know the drill. Okay. Sick glaive. Excuse the interruption, my lord Anthilla. What is it? Instead of Attila, I see. It's about the tribute. With all due respect, but we're stretched thin as is with the new quota and all. The king of the roaches put me in charge of this colony. Rather pay the tribute or join the front lines. War is upon us. There's a typo. That's its foreman. But we already sent Rutilius all our surplus food and supplies. We barely have enough to keep on as is. No excuses. Oh god. I expect that tribute ready today. Move out. Okay, bye. What the heck? I need to help that guy. Dustin, we can't. Oh, alright, fine. Let's find a way over there. Not by jumping in the lava. Quest started! Okay. Attention, beware of lava pit. If burned, contact the drone foreman. Don't forget to fill out employee accident form 3725C. Yeah, we're gonna have to put this down as an incident. Hello. Thing up there? No. There's a rope that I can take down. Ow! Fine, I'm jumping down this way. Haha, you get hit by it too, dork. It would be funny if that actually lowers their HP when you get to battle. I know it won't, but it's fun to think. I will say something this game does that surprises me and is quite cool is kind of one of the big problems of these sorts of RPGs and just JRPGs in general is a lot of the time random battles like aren't any difficulty. Like in early JRPGs this wasn't really a thing, but at some point random battles just became something that you didn't need to worry about at all. You don't need to build around it, you don't need to worry about healing, all of those things usually. Like in early Final Fantasies, it was legitimately difficult because you had to balance your healing spells and the amount of healing you had to survive the dungeon, but at some point random battles in JRPGs just kind of became busy work. So it is cool playing something where, like, I am legitimately scared of some of these battles. Like, obviously there's some exceptions to this rule in JRPGs. Like, some random encounters you can get into in, like, the Bravely Default games are pretty scary. And sometimes you'll run into, like, an area with coeurls or cockatrices in, like, a Final Fantasy or some other JRPG, and you have, like, the potential of getting petrified, but usually random battles are just XP fodder, and you don't really have to worry about them too much, except for some of the earlier games where you do have to actually build even against random encounters. But this game, the random encounters are still scary. Like, I do have to, you know, watch myself in them, and I do have to make sure I have the healing to actually deal with the enemy I'm getting in a fight with. Not to alarm you, but we are surrounded by thousands of tons of molten rock. This tunnel was built very carefully to snake its way through. Follow the path and you'll come out the other side. Okay, thanks. I think I said random battles earlier, but this game, you know, obviously doesn't have random battles. It has overworld battles where you run into the enemy and stuff, but, you know, still. Get lost, please follow the torches to your nearest exit. Because, I guess a good example is something like Octopath, where, like, as long as you're in an appropriately leveled area for you, the random battles are no difficulty whatsoever. You don't have to specifically build against them, you don't have to worry about your healing supplies and stuff as much. Whereas, like, early Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy II and stuff, it's like, oh god, I hope you've grinded enough to have enough healing spells to get through this dungeon, because if you don't, then you're gonna get to the end of the dungeon, be out of heals, and have to fight the boss. So, there's a lot of that. Definitely want to go over there, that's a dead end. Hello. I'm thinking of, something like Golden Sun, I feel like has a pretty good balance, because Golden Sun gets very, very difficult at some parts with, like, sustain and surviving a dungeon. But, there's just as many examples of that not being the case. And I feel like there's more JRPGs where random battles are a complete and utter joke than there are JRPGs where random battles are, like, legitimately difficult and you have to think around them. I'm just yapping at this point, though. Nobody wants to hear that. Thick metal on the top and made from heavy gauge brass. Look at how nice I am. I hope we get, like, a crystal trash can at some point. I'd look awesome. Ooh, my god. Not great at making the jumps, apparently. Yeah, that's death for you. And this is death for you. It was a little bit early. Or not, it did say wow. So I guess I was technically correct. The best kind of correct. 11! Defense I could go even harder onto. Like, yeah, it's kind of like defense is what I'm going to put points into mostly. but then I'm going to put some points in the skill power. Like I said, I could possibly make a build where both of us are just doing absurd amounts of damage and I can plow through everything, but I occasionally like to just, you know, do different things. And it's fun to see if you can make, like, just an invincible character in these games. Play rest area. Okay. And I feel like due to the fact that Dustin has a MP stealing ability, if we got, like, a heal on Dustin, we could potentially get him to a point where he's, like, near invincible. Okay. So, we did all that. Oh, I didn't go to that... Ooh, I didn't do that, actually. There was, like, a... Back there was a rope. I don't think I went up. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back through this place to get back over there. Which means I have to go past the enemies again, but hopefully that won't be too bad. And it's a kind of short walk, so I don't feel the need to cut it really. But I just want to make sure I got the things over here, and I don't actually recall if I did or not. Because I think I just walked straight into this. Because, yeah, I saw that I could drop, and I did, instead of going the other way. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a pretty easy fight. Here you go. Luckily, the fights in this are super fast as well. Like, the battles move at a good tilt. No, like, crazy long animations or anything that you have to sit through. All that for a mealworm? You gotta be shitting me. Okay. Well, it's healing, I guess. Ow. Okay, we're out. I just gotta get back over there. Which, there's like... 2 enemies we gotta sneak by? Because I don't want to get over-leveled, so I would prefer to not refight enemies that we've already ran into. I remember when I was a kid, I never ran away from random battles, ever. Which basically meant that I was just constantly over-leveled, but I was also a kid and I played stupid, so I kind of needed that. But, God, the amount that you can just evade enemies and stuff... You can evade a lot of enemies in these games and still get by perfectly fine. 21 miners. You gotta save that miner. Sorry. I'll go do that first. Hey, mister, are you okay? Oh yeah, I feel like a million clips. Let me have a look. I'll be alright, it's just a scratch, really. Wrap it up at least. Stay still. Fine. Out. Hang on. What exactly is a trash-born a little rat doing way out here in the anthills? Where? Just traveling merchants passing through. Traveling merchants, huh? No bags or wares? Middle of an active work zone? Filled with lava? We're on a secret mission to take down Rutilius. Dustin! Tell the whole damn dump, why don't you? Oh, you're secret agents from Garbagia. No. Basically, yes. I'm going to become the best knight in the kingdom. Secret's safe with me. Ow. Sorry. This common bug's got no love for Rutilius, believe you me. 50 of my best miners are sent off to the Roach King and never returned. Trained most of them from larvae myself. Good ants. Now Anthilla demands so much in tribute, our whole colony is drying up. That's terrible. Alright, friend, you all bandage up. That's going to need serious attention. Thank you, strangers. You just helped me back to my village. It's a service elevator that back that away. Yeah, come on. But what if I go over here, though? What do you have to say about that? Can't leave yet? Okay. Well, we'll go back to the village. I guess. Alright. Service elevator it is. Why can't you still just prone on the floor? Or like, knocked out on the floor, I suppose. We're here. Ah, save point, thank you. Ant farm 24386. Well, all I see is a save point, so. Cool. Alrighty. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time for some more.